Hello students, we are solving problems under calculation of house rent allowance. You know the format of calculating taxable house rent allowance, that is from actual house rent allowance, that is actual house rent received, you have to deduct exempted house rent allowance under section 10 subsection 13a, that is least of the following three things you have to consider, that is first one actual house rent allowance, second one 10% of a salary above the rent paid and 40% of salary in case of non-metropolitan city and 50% of salary in case of metropolitan cities. Metropolitan cities include Delhi, Mumbai, Chennai and Kolkata. And here salary includes basic, DA if that DA is mentioned as retirement benefit and commission on turnover. In this session, let us solve this problem. Go through this problem. Samir was working at Mangalore on a monthly salary of 5,000, DA at 2,000, HRA at rupees 1,200 per month and CCA at rupees 1,000 per month. He paid a rent of rupees 1,500 per month. On 1st November, he was transferred to Delhi where he got HRA of rupees 2,000 per month. Other emoluments were the same. He paid rupees 2,500 rent per month in Delhi. Compute taxable HRA. Here you have to calculate taxable HRA twice because for the first 7 months he was working in Mangalore and rest of the year he worked in Delhi. That is from April to October he worked in Mangalore and on 1st November he started his work in Delhi. Let us calculate his taxable HRA. See, Samir was working at Mangalore on a monthly salary of 5,000. Here, for the purpose of calculation of salary, you have to consider only the basic. You should not consider the DA because in the problem nowhere it is mentioned that DA should be considered as retirement benefit. That is why salary means only 5,000 and you should not consider DA and CCA. Okay. Next, HRA is given 1,200 per month. Remember, this 5,000 and 1,200 is only for 7 months. At Mangalore, you have to consider 5,000 for 7 months and 1,200 for 7 months, not for 12 months, because he was working in Mangalore only for 7 months. And he paid rent 1,500 per month. This is also for 7 months. First, you have to calculate taxable HRA for this information, that is at Mangalore. Then next you have to calculate HRA in Delhi. Here in case of Mangalore you have to consider 40% of his salary because Mangalore is not a metropolitan city. Next, see, on 1st November he was transferred to Delhi, that is from November to March he was working in Delhi, that is for 5 months, November, December, January, February and March. Here other emoluments were the same, that means his salary, DA, CCA all are same. Here only changes are made in HRA and rent paid. Here HRA was increased to 2,000 per month and rent he paid 2,500 per month. All these things you have to consider for 5 months. HRA for 5 months, rent paid for 5 months and salary for 5,000 of salary for 5 months. And here second transfer was made to Delhi. That means Delhi comes under metropolitan city, so 50% of salary you have to consider. Okay. Let us solve this problem. Computation of HRA of Mr. Samir for the assessment year 2020-21. Particulars and 3 amounts column you have to draw. First thing, HRA received at Mangalore 1200 for 7 months. Write in the second amount column 8400. Next, less exempt under section 10 subsection 13A, least of the following three things, that is actual HRA received 8400, write in the first amount column. Next, rent paid above 10% of salary, that is 1500 rent paid into 7 minus 10% of salary, that is 5000 for 7 months. When you deduct this thing from rent paid, you get 7000 as rent paid above 10% of salary. Next, 40% of salary, 40% of 35,000, 14,000. So, least of the following is rent paid above 10% of salary, 7,000. When you deduct this one from actual HRA received, you get 1400 as taxable HRA. Next, you have to calculate HRA received in Delhi, that is 2000 HRA received for 5 months, that is from November to March. This is from April to October. Here, from this 10,000 you have to deduct exempt under section 10 subsection 13A, least of the following, that is HRA received 10,000, rent paid above 10% of salary, that is rent paid 2500 for 5 months minus 10% of salary, that is 5000 for 5 months, 25,000, that amounts to rupees 10,000. Next, 50% of a salary, that is 50% of 25,000 amounts to rupees 12,500. Least of the following you have to consider here. 10,000 is the least, so you have to consider 10,000 as exempted HRA, and here see actual HRA is also 10,000 as the exempted HRA is also 10,000, so his taxable HRA is nil. Here taxable HRA of Mr. Samir amounts to rupees 1400 only, because 1400 taxable HRA at Mangalore you have to consider, because taxable HRA received at Delhi is nil. So, this is the solution to this problem. This is the problem relating to two cities, that is first he was working in one city, then he transferred to another city. One is non-metropolitan city and another one is metropolitan city. See the difference and solve this problem once again for the better understanding. Thank you. Let us solve some more problems in upcoming sessions.